Testing, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. All right, welcome to episode 3 of the Lazy Gringo podcast.
I'm so glad that we're doing this totally candid, it's not like we've ever done this before or anything. We're just starting it for the first time right now.
My computer fucked up and we're having to re-record the intro. So Alex is pouring a second round of shots for us because we do start every introduction with a shot. So we're having gimlets today, and we had gimlets, and what are we having now?
Now we're having tequila. A lot less fancy. He's given up.
Today we're joined by our first ever guest to the Lazy Gringo podcast, my fraternity little bro, Luke. Today we're going to talk about our top 5 favorite TV shows of all time. The reason we're going to do that is because Luke has actually worked in the film industry. He's worked on a ton of various projects ranging from Netflix TV shows.
He was on Aquaman.
We're gonna do this bit again.
It's bad the first time.
It was bad the first time. He's worked on a Marvel TV set, albeit it was only for 3 days. Anyways,
was it really Marvel though, for real? Oh, that's cool.
He worked on the set of Ant-Man for 3 days.
That's cool. What happened? Did you get fired?
No.
Well, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that on episode 3 of the Lazy Gringo podcast. Welcome, Alex. Let's shoot this tequila. All right, so let's get into it. Luke, you worked in the film industry in Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta's, for those of y'all that don't know, Atlanta's pretty booming right now. I actually think while I was down there in the last 3 years, I think we surpassed New York as the second biggest film city in, or maybe it's the state. I could be completely BSing this, but I really feel like I saw it as a stat somewhere. But we're definitely third. We're absolutely third
for sure.
But
It's cheap to film in the South.
Absolutely. A lot of tax incentives. My theory is that Florida lost their tax incentives, Louisiana lost their tax incentives, and then North Carolina had their whole bathroom rule thing, and all the film industries in those 3 states kind of were like, well, Atlanta's right in the middle, and they all ended up.
That's pretty cool.
Out.
See, I don't know anything about any of those things that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
So
taxes are
Florida
about
is a big.
of your
They shoot a lot of movies in Florida.
Yeah, absolutely.
They used to.
They
used to shoot a lot of movies in Florida and Louisiana, but now Hollywood has kind of shifted to Georgia, and Marvel especially likes to film a lot of their Avengers films in Georgia.
I mean, Atlanta seems to be a pretty happening place.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's not necessarily Atlanta proper, but anywhere within an hour radius of Atlanta. Mm-hmm. You've got like Pinewood Studios, which has a big branch out there. They're the ones that are in London filming a lot of the Star Wars series.
Cool.
And I think they may be filming the new Avatar movies out there as well.
Nice.
So they were just
which are supposedly done and 95% done, according to James Cameron.
I heard, yeah, they should be relatively close. But yeah, there's a lot of like implant studios there, and a lot of like Tyler Perry Studios is down there. Tyler Perry obviously built himself out of Atlanta. He wanted to put it back, and the studio just opened this past year, even though I've been working on projects there ever since I've moved down
since
there.
Since they opened, or before?
Before they opened to the public. So I don't know if it was just that Tyler's studio, anything he produced or worked on, if they were the only ones allowed to work on the studio premises, and then he's now opened it to the public for any studios to come work down there.
So is that that's the place you've been working for a while, or were you there for, was that your introduction to the whole movie game?
Film industry.
Film industry.
No, so in high school, I took a film class, loved it. I was lucky enough that our high school had one of those, here's the news, like every Friday type situation.
You were on there.
Yes, and
nice.
I was on there. Really had a love for it. Went to college, and after 1 year changed my major because I knew I was missing out if I didn't do film, because I was a biology major. Had a good program at Memphis.
Can I pause you real quick?
That's fine.
Luke, why did you become my little bro? What was our conversation? Do you remember?
So, yes, our fraternity, you have to have 20 or whatever signatures from older people in the chapter or alumni. And when I had Chris, we immediately bonded over, I don't want to say Lord of the Rings. rants.
It
It was just movies in general.
just
though.
movies in
Yeah,
general.
We talked a
yeah.
lot about movies. but
I think our interview lasted hours.
Yeah.
Because we just started talking about movies and
Blood
we just
health,
started
yeah.
fucking rolling, man.
Yeah.
Good times.
And that is. I totally forget about that until we start talking about it. And it's like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Stuff, but
So you went to the University of Memphis for film?
Yes.
Were you going to school before that somewhere else?
Yes, I was going. Well, just my freshman year, I was at Mississippi State for biology.
dogs.
I wanted to do genetics and stuff like that. But yeah, all my friends that were in the high school program with me went to Memphis to do film, and every time I was catching up with them and in town, it just sounded like I was missing out on like everything I loved so much about the high school experience of film.
So where did you go to high school then? You weren't
Arlington.
So you were around here then?
Yeah.
And then you left and you came back.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
cool.
for you.
All roads
Just
lead
for
through
you.
Memphis, man.
Yeah, man.
I came back to Memphis from Denver. You came back from fucking Australia. He came back from Atlanta.
There's under 30
Memphis has a
bridges
calling.
across the Mississippi. One of them's in Memphis. Not a lot of
I've
bridges.
heard that's one of the main points of interest when it comes to terrorist attacks is the Memphis Bridge. Have you guys
Yeah,
heard about that?
because that's actually the most protected bridge by the U.S. government because
Because
that's the only
supply
rail
chain lane,
system
right.
that goes
Yeah,
over the
yeah.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
So if we were ever to be taken over by air,
That would
we still
cut
have
off
the
half of
we still
our-
have the railway to get goods from.
There's not one between here and Chicago.
I don't think so.
I mean, that's
That's what- that's what
It's
Dog-
like Chicago, St. Louis, us, New Orleans. Like those are the river cities.
Yeah, I don't know if they have like a transit that goes over
This is
the
probably
Mississippi.
like the way most logical point A to Z.
Right.
You know what I mean? It would probably just put a real big damper on our budget.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's certain places you can't build bridges. It's a river, but the same reason they don't have a bridge over the Strait of Gibraltar is the drop off in the ocean is actually significantly deeper than people think. So you literally can't have a bridge infrastructure in that 2-3 mile gap. That is.
That's sustainable. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
wild.
they just ferry everything.
The more you know.
Yeah,
I
there
would
you
have
go.
fucking never known that they tried to build a bridge over
Yeah,
the
so
Strait
it
of
took
Gibraltar.
a 25-minute flight out of Spain. So, so not fun.
So anyway, so you went to college at the University of Memphis to do film.
Film.
Did you graduate?
I did.
Nice.
It was technically a degree in communications with a concentration in film and video production, I believe. But yeah, I did graduate. Knew of Houston, Atlanta, and Chicago were going to be like my stepping stone cities. I knew I wanted to move out for a few years and then decide on New York or LA, and ended up sticking with Atlanta. So
Nice.
Absolutely. I mean, Atlanta would have been the one I chose out of all of those because it seems with Chicago, New York, and even Los Angeles to an extent, those are very niche cities that they're going to film specific projects dedicated to that city and that city only. Whereas in Atlanta, you can get that diversity of we can film in a wide open field or we can film in a downtown metropolis area. Like, you know, Chicago projects typically they're set in Chicago, you know,
in an urban landscape.
in an urban landscape, yeah. New York, they're set in New York, you know, in Central Park, whatever, like.
Or Vancouver. But yes.
Or Vancouver, yeah, but you don't want to leave
Yeah.
the country. Shout out to one of my shows that's going to be on my top 5 list that's filmed in Vancouver. Do y'all just want to go ahead and get into the top 5 list?
Well, hold on, I want to finish. We should finish Luke real quick. So
You want to finish him off? That was not fucking scripted. Oh, you can't get that.
No wonder you guys prepared.
Get out your prime, I'll pull you forward.
Oh my god.
So you graduated.
Emma,
So what
Emma,
made you like? Did
the
you
microphone
want,
can hear you.
Did you want to be an actor? Did you want to be?
No. And that was actually something I did in high school. I definitely did theater in high school, but I never thought that I wanted the attention of it, so to speak. I'm definitely a big attention getter, but I didn't care for the stage. I didn't care to be in front of the camera. I like the technical aspects of it.
So going into it, what did you want? Writing.
I think writing in high school was my biggest, like, this is something I should try. And then, not to say that you come out and realize, like, the statistics and, like, how probable it actually is to do all that. Not to put any screenwriters down out there, absolutely right, because I'll write scripts for myself. And no, I'm never going to pitch them to studios or something. But, yeah, I think ultimately it was writing. And then as I actually got into the industry itself, I tweaked it into what I saw that I would like to be in, and it was more of the art department.
Cool.
So part of what attracted me to Luke as a little bro is he was doing what I wanted to do. My dream in high school was to be a movie director. That's always what I wanted to do. Much like Luke just said, I write screenplays for myself that I have no ambition of showing anyone ever, yet alone pitching to a fucking studio. That's just a creative outlet for me.
So there's a sponge, and he lives in a pineapple. I just think about the crazy pitches people had at one point in their life. So,
Nice.
I've always had the idea of, you know, the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds, Dustin Long.
just watched it the other day.
Did you?
Part of it.
The terrible Ryan Reynolds storyline of that he only the lesson he learns is you can't fuck 17-year-olds. You gotta wait till they're 18.
Right. It's like,
But I've always had the idea.
I forgot about that. That's not
Yeah,
funny.
he wants to fuck the hostess.
Yeah.
Like it does not age well.
Yeah.
I'm sure for the time people thought it was funny. Maybe I don't know.
Ryan Reynolds
wouldn't
Jr.
have done it if it wasn't funny.
Yeah, no, I mean he didn't do
the
it.
actress was clearly over 18.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
okay.
It was still rated
That's
R.
fine. It wasn't a Mila
It's
Kunis
okay.
that 70 show
Right,
situation,
yeah.
so but
How cool is Ryan Reynolds though? Such a cool fucking guy.
Well, as someone that's... No, I'm just kidding.
like, don't tease
Never
me.
even tried.
No, super cool dude. He's got a movie coming out called Free Guy.
One of two of the... There's two movies
It's
coming
pretending
out this year.
it's pretending like it's still coming out this year.
What's it about?
Here's the thing. If you're the only movie to release at Christmas and you have tons of families out there that are like, screw it, it's Christmas.
You're gonna
That is
make
a family
shit
tradition.
ton of money, yeah.
It's Wonder
It's
Woman
Ryan
and that.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman too.
Wonder Woman is the only one that hasn't been
I
delayed.
think no, Wonder Woman's been pushed.
Has it officially?
Wonder
Okay,
Woman has
then
been
maybe
pushed.
it's just
Yeah.
Free Guy, so why not?
DC just
Is
did
it
a
free guy or cool guy?
It's Free
Free
Guy.
Free guy.
Um,
You said cool guy earlier.
No, I said
And he
Free
was
Guy.
just quoted today saying it was the best movie he's ever done,
Really?
which I find interesting.
Okay,
also
that
said-
is,
Maybe he produced part
that
of it,
is
I don't
the
know.
ultimate troll saying
Yeah,
saying this
that's
is the
true.
best movie he's ever
Yeah.
done.
My gin is the best gin I've ever had.
That's what I know him
And
for.
then sells the company. No.
Yeah, literally.
His humor, his fucking 5-second commercials are just like something hilarious and
Hey, Rick
super
Moranis,
cool.
though.
And it's just like, fucking Ryan Reynolds. What a cool guy. I want to be cool like him. I'm gonna buy a bottle of that. fucking
I
shit.
definitely didn't say. Well, don't buy it now. He doesn't own it anymore.
He doesn't?
No, he sold
so he
aviation.
probably still makes money off it though if he was.
Well, all the airline companies are doing horrible, so of course aviation's gonna go down.
Oh, that's bad. No, so he's got a new movie coming out called Free Guy. It's about a secondary video game character. I think he works at a bank and he is the bank teller that gets robbed day after day after
For like a
day.
mission of a GTA type video game. I
That
think.
sounds like a.
And he
like
realizes
the plot
that
of,
he's in a video game and he starts to like
What?
fight back.
What's that TV show that's like they have something different every time and it's kind of.
What's that TV show with that guy? There's that girl.
Yeah, this is a great description.
Hold on, okay.
You sure it's a TV
There's
show?
a TV show, all right, and they used to do one just like this, and now they're doing it modern, and it's like every time there's something different, and there's always some sort of cynical, weird, fucked up situation going
Oh,
on.
Scooby Doo. No, it's
Let's keep talking. I
Sorry.
don't think of it.
No, it's a Netflix show. I think I know what he's
You know what I'm
talking
talking
about.
I was thinking of the movie.
It's Black
the Ready
Mirror?
Player One.
Yes,
It's not like Black Mirror.
That's exactly what I'm talking
No,
about.
this is a
that
comedy.
sounds like.
Oh
a
wait, Black Mirror is
Mirror.
the thing? No.
I mean, okay, so
I
the way
appreciate
you
the
described
language.
it. So I'm coming in as like the person that
You
doesn't
think-
It would
shit.
be a Black Mirror episode, maybe.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
it's a comedy. It's a Ryan Reynolds comedy
I mean, okay, so the Black
about
Mirror
a
episode
secondary video game
is-
character.
It's a secondary video game character
Like the
who
term is
realizes
NPC, it's
he's in a
2020,
video
that's-
game. It's like to me, I'm
Why are
like,
you doing
okay,
quotation marks? all the
that
time?
sounds like a Black Mirror episode. Does it not?
You need to watch more television.
You don't think that sounds like a Black Mirror episode? Because I can tell you about that one episode.
I'm not.
The space one?
I assume you guys both watched all of Black Mirror. You guys are
The
both
space one,
movie
right?
people, right? Or TV show, whatever. No, I'm talking about There's one where it's like, okay, you follow this entire couple, and it turns out that they're just one hypothetical.
I forgot about that episode.
You know what I'm talking about?
So you're relating it to the one episode of that
one
show,
episode.
but it took them forever to figure out what TV show he was talking about.
Yeah.
There's an episode of Black Mirror
talk
where
about it.
they basically create avatars in a, oh my gosh,
like a dating
AI.
app.
I thought that was a middle letter for some reason. I was like, ALI? What's it called? An AI world, and then sure.
Yeah, so there's like
If we say yes.
we
Yeah,
see
if we say yes, can we continue
we
the
see how
conversation?
compatible you are, and we run like a
diagnosis.
hypothetical 10,000 time diagnosis on whether or not this relationship would work, and this whole episode was one of those 1,000.
Ryan Reynolds is never going to listen to this, but I'm apologizing to Ryan Reynolds for this description of his shitty movie that is pretending to come out around Christmas. And I hope it's not shitty, but it looks.
So have you seen
the
second trailer?
The second trailer makes it look really shitty. The first trailer makes it look really good.
Yes, I agree. I didn't realize this second aspect of like, oh, someone is understanding what's going on. It's almost like this meta conversation between player and
Yeah, no.
NPC or whatever.
Yeah, no. First trailer makes it look really good. Second trailer makes it look really shitty, like it should be released in January and not December.
I mean, Deadpool is a February film.
February's okay. February,
Maybe that's his good.
You get good movies in February. You get shit movies in
The
January.
Vow. Anybody ever see that? Okay.
No, what was the one this year? Mystery Island? Something like
Fantasy
that.
Island?
Fantasy Island. Which makes it sound like a fucking
Quiet
porno.
Place is usually in February. Yeah. Or maybe it was March.
You get good.
Or
No,
it was in October. Okay, sorry. Yes.
You get good movies in February. You get shit movies in January. That's just how studios operate. If it's in January, you have like a 98% chance of it being shitty. Although I think Bad Boys for Life was a January release this year, and I found it entertaining. But I like
Filmed in
Martin.
Atlanta.
I like Martin Lawrence. Filmed in Atlanta.
So this one's gonna be called
Has to work on it.
What Boy? Cool Boy? Lucky Boy?
Free Boy.
Free Boy.
Free guy. Free guy. Free guy.
Free
They're
Bird.
every
Free bird.
Bird.
Ah.
So it's gonna be released during Christmas time, supposedly.
Supposedly, it's pretending like it is. If movie theaters are open.
But it's like what I was saying is it's one of what I thought was two movies, maybe the only one. I know Fat Man is also a Christmas movie coming out, but I don't know if they have plans to.
Fat Man.
It's Mel Gibson as Santa Claus. I'm just saying, I'm pretty excited. it's basically a bad Santa.
The
but, like,
anti-Semitic playing Santa. Okay, great.
a kid gets called for Christmas and he basically puts a hit out on Santa. So I'm just saying.
That
All
does
right.
not sound-
That sounds pretty interesting.
That does
Actually,
not sound entertaining, you know?
I mean,
It sounds like an episode from that one show with that guy.
stop.
Yeah. You know that guy, right,
Stop.
Chris?
Can we just go ahead and get into
Yes,
our top
go
fives?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
You
Sorry-
go first
sorry
because
for
I was
the
told about
interruption.
this 2 hours ago.
I did. I totally sprung this on Luke. I invited him over for family dinner, and then I was like, "Hey, by the way, we're recording a podcast tonight, and you're the guest." And he's like, "Are you fucking serious?"
That's so cool that you were just like, okay, fuck.
Ride or
I
die.
just rolled with it, you know?
Ride or die.
Super
I knew
cool.
he'd be down. I knew he would be down. Alex, do you want to start or me? Or do you want to rock, paper, scissors?
I want you to start, Chris, because I only have a 3, to be totally honest.
I literally told you about this.
I mean, I've been thinking about it, but I mean, hey, I still am not sure. Actually, I'm gonna go first because I know at least one of mine's yours. One of yours.
Well, go 5-1 if you can.
Well, I don't know if I can give you my number 1 TV show.
Well, no, we're gonna start at 5 and go down.
Well, I don't know. Well, I can only think of 3 at this moment. All right, we're gonna start with the 3 that I have, and then I'll put them in order. All right. So
Just do one at a time. And
number
then I'll go.
5 is probably Family Guy.
Okay.
Family Guy is in my top 5. I do have a really special place in my heart for Family Guy. I do love that show.
Hold off, because Family Guy's on my list.
I knew it would be.
Family Guy's definitely on my list.
I knew it would be.
It's early, but we'll talk about it. So we'll talk about it soon.
Mhm.
But your number 5 is Family Guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm thinking probably number 2.
No. I'll
Oh,
go
it goes
ahead.
to you now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
never
All right,
listened
cool.
to a top 5 podcast? I
Do
mean,
not
not know the order of
really.
things.
No. Yeah. So
Yeah, this way is way better than what I was thinking.
So you keep pondering.
Yeah,
You
perfect.
keep pondering your list,
Perfect,
and
yeah.
I'll go. My number 5 is Friday Night Lights. I love Friday Night Lights minus the Landry kills a guy subplot. Yeah, I don't know if y'all have ever seen it. It discovered a ton of great actors. Michael B. Jordan, Jesse Plemons, Taylor Kitsch. Although he's hasn't been in a ton of great movies, I think he's a great actor. Coach Taylor, his name's escaping me.
Forgot me too, because I freaking love him.
Connie Britton. I mean, the cast was stacked. It was incredible. Kyle Chandler. Great actor. Shout out Kyle Chandler. I'm so sorry I forgot his name. Yeah, Friday Night Lights. I actually own the whole DVD set to Friday Night Lights every season, and that's the only TV show I have every season of. So, and I have a pretty.
And that's impressive in the Netflix era.
And I have a pretty extensive DVD collection. So to have a
Physical
whole
media, bro.
Yeah.
That's what Chris calls it.
I'm a big fan of physical media. I love having DVDs. I have a vision one day of having a library of literally just movies, DVDs, to where my kids don't need a fucking streaming platform. They can just go to dad's.
Yeah,
collection.
but
Do you ever have
there's
Criteria?
that, though.
Do you ever get the steel books?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what you think. Okay.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings is about to release a steelbook, and it's like $200, and I really want it. All right, Luke, 5.
So in no particular order, but I guess I'll try 5. Futurama, I think.
Solid.
Great choice.
Solid.
It was one of the first shows that like I was like, this is a cartoon, but it's like adult humor, and it was smart humor. I never got into The Simpsons, but I think there was enough relaxation, so to speak, with the Futurama characters and stuff that I was able to see like this is smart humor. It's not like I love Family Guy, but like Family Guy is smart humor.
Totally fart humor.
But like Futurama's got some like deep cuts when it comes to humor that I was luckily able to understand.
And also, I mean, the whole futuristic thing, like they have so much to work with.
So much room.
They do such a good job of like. It popped in my head.
It was
today,
funny
too.
and it had heart in episodes, and there's certain episodes that'll still make me cry. But yeah,
Bender, all-time character.
Man, one of the best characters ever fucking invented.
I loved The Simpsons as a kid, and then I remember as a teenager, I would watch Adult Swim at night and would watch Futurama and loved it. And then when it got put on Hulu, I watched it all the way through for the first time. And was it Hulu or no? Whatever. I watched it through for the first time. Great show. It was in my honorable mentions. From
Futurama?
Futurama was in one of my honorable mentions. I'm a huge fan of adult cartoons, though.
absolutely.
So, Alex, it's your turn for number 4. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Only number 4.
Only number 4.
Only number
I
4.
thought about it. I realized that I already had 4. All I needed was one more. This is gonna sound super fucking lame, but I'm gonna say I don't even know if this counts.
Caillou.
No.
Oh.
It's the Cosmos, like original series by Carl Sagan.
I would count it. It's a
Old
miniseries.
school as fuck.
Oh, the old school one.
The old school one.
Okay.
Like the old fucking one.
Yeah.
That was in like the late 80s or something like that. I really enjoyed it. It was super educational and super like
I've definitely
mind-opening.
smoked some weed and watched it. So
So it's like that's what Neil deGrasse Tyson has recreated.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
But all the new information about things.
Right, it's like updated information. It's like, okay, well, they reported on all the same stuff, but this last 10% actually was false because it's science, and that's how science works. We figure out new shit all the fucking time.
Great choice. I mean, that's probably. I mean, I don't know about the rest of your list, but that's
gonna be the only one that's not fart jokes.
Okay, I was about to say, my list is a bunch of fart jokes. So that brought a little bit of culture to the Lazy Gringo podcast. My number 4, Family Guy.
Nice.
Family Guy to me is the most quotable TV show of all time because it makes fun of everyday life. I've watched Family Guy so much that it has ruined my humor because I quote Family Guy at least once a day every day, and it fits to the situation that I'm in.
Is that a quote?
No, it's not.
I feel like they put it
It
in.
might
just so
be.
people can say, yeah, it's a quote.
It might be, but I remember earlier. I don't remember the situation, but I totally quoted Tom Tucker earlier today.
Okay.
That's
You know,
the writer?
That's the news
The
the
news guy.
newscast.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Tom Tucker. Yeah. Mustache.
the mustache. Yeah. I love Family Guy. It makes fun of everyday life, and at least for me, it makes everyday life a little bit brighter because life can be so dark that whenever I can like think of a good Family Guy quote, it's at least like one bright spot in my day. And like I said, usually at least once a day, I'm able to find a quote for Family Guy because I've watched it so fucking much that it's my background. It's like my background TV. That and the next one on my list is my background TV.
Nice.
Okay. And that's probably a good.
No.
So, well, okay. So,
So-
if we're talking
so-
about background TV, yeah. Honestly, everything you just hit on is pretty much the same as my four, which is Friends. And
Okay.
I know there are like there's a divided community right now between Friends and Office. Honestly, I think they're completely different. And if you look at the finale viewership,
I would
Seinfeld
say-
had more than Friends, but I think people of our generation still think Friends is more popular.
I watched Friends
never
with
saw the thing.
I watched Friends with my parents growing up. I remember watching the final episode
I think it premiered on the Super
live.
Bowl. Yeah.
Live. Like I remember watching it with my parents. We cried. My family was a bunch of criers. I'm a crier. We cried. In my adulthood, I've grown less fond of Friends. Maybe because I've seen it so much that I just don't watch it anymore. But I think you said the divide was between Friends and The Office. I think the divide is between Friends and How I Met Your Mother. Because those two TV shows are the exact same fucking show. And I hate How I Met Your Mother. That is How I Met Your Mother is number like 1 or 2 in my top 5 worst TV shows.
So that's interesting that you say that because I've always wondered where the How I Met Your Mother community has been. I never hear people on social media talking about it. I never, even to this day, with like among the film community, it's always like Seinfeld, Friends, Office, Parks, maybe community. Like nobody ever brings up How I Met Your Mother, and I don't know if it's because they had a situation where they didn't like the ending. Because I know a lot of people were like, oh, but like, yeah, it's pretty much a rehash of what people thought a sitcom should be, and I think they look to Friends as an example where it's like, oh, we have these 6 or 7 people, and they meet at the same location every day. Coffee shop for Friends, the bar for How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Oh, one of these friend groups is like gonna end up together eventually. You got Chandler and Monica, you got Marshall and Lily. And they may have started off together, but it's still, you have that dynamic of a couple within the group.
Yeah. I mean, it
So-
really is pretty much the same situation. 6 people, really. And like a couple of them are.
In New York,
with each other.
they're dating constantly.
Yeah.
You've got the couple that's together. It's sickening how
How similar it is. But to
Yes.
go back to Friends, I literally the same point you talked on. It's my background TV. It's the only show I think I've watched all the way through 2 or 3 times, even if I'm not paying attention.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's on my list, but it's not my number 3.
okay.
Well, then what is your number 3?
My number 3, you guys this might come out of left field, but it's a fucking great TV show, and if you ever watched it, you're gonna be like, oh shit, that might be in my top 5 too. It's Whose Line Is It Anyway?
It's great.
You guys ever
That's a
seen
good
that
one.
Think about
TV
that
show?
one.
That's a good one.
God, that show is hilarious.
Literally, that's all I would do.
It's
Yeah.
so good, and those guys fucking kill it. And the fucking, I don't know, the host, even the new ones with I don't even know what the new host lady's name is. The black lady. And then instead of Drew, what's his name?
Yeah. I forgot her name.
Drew
too. I
Carey.
know it, but I forgot it.
Drew Carey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but she's
the
The
hilarious.
original host. Yes.
And it's pretty much like the same 3 main guys, which are
Colin
Colin, Mark
Ryan,
Brady,
and Wayne.
Ryan something,
Styles
and
and Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady. And then plus, pretty much
Alex
the
isn't a
same 4
name
people.
guy. Alex isn't a name guy.
I don't know. I mean,
But that's that's a sneaker, and that's like as soon as you said it, I was like,
Yeah.
I was literally watching clips of them last week
Yeah.
because I was
Same.
just bored.
It pops up on Facebook pretty
and it's
frequently.
so funny. Yeah,
So good.
that's a good one.
Such
Okay.
a
I
good
have
show.
no other game show or variety show type thing on my list.
Okay. So I'm the host of this podcast, so I'm allowed to decide how these lists go, and I'm cheating a little bit. My number 3 is season 2 of Arrow. Just season 2.
I don't even know what Arrow is. What is that?
So Arrow is a TV show on the CW developed by Greg Bertinelli, and it centers around the superhero Green Arrow, who is Oliver Queen. He's basically a mini Bruce Wayne. He runs Queen Industries. To compare it to Marvel's, he's Hawkeye. He's the bow and arrow guy in the DC universe. He wears all green, very Robin Hood vibes. Season 2, Deathstroke, who's typically a Batman villain, is the main villain. And it, as far as like in Oliver Queen's world, you've got, you know, the origin story of season 1. Season 2 is he meets his big bad. And Deathstroke was incredible. I mean, I'm talking movie quality villain in a TV show that you got for 22, 23 episodes. All of season 2 of Arrow is arguably better than any superhero movie we've seen when you talk about a whole story arc that you get. And because they get to flesh it out in, you know, TV, and they get more time, obviously. But season 2 of Arrow is absolutely incredible. So that's my number 3.
Luke, what do you know about it?
I've actually seen season 2 of Arrow, and I can't remember if I stopped at season 2 or season 3, and how much you hyped it out just now makes me think I stopped after season 3. But whatever amount had come out to that point, I was bored over a summer and just started watching them. And I either watched, like I said, through season 2 or season 3, and I remember, being like blown away and being like, this is really good, especially because the CW
doesn't
not know for some great stuff. Like, it's like I said, it's lucked out with Supernatural, and it's done great things with like the beginning of Arrow, but I never finished it out. I don't know if I just forgot about it or the other seasons hadn't come out and then you forget about them.
No, totally. And I'm going to be completely honest. I've watched through season 7 of Arrow, and I know season 8 is only a half season, and it's the final season. It does do a good wrap up. They did a Crisis on Infinite Earths event, which I watched. And they had a Flash event, and DC is about to do their whole fucking thing. I'm not going to get into it, even though I could. But season 2 of Arrow was just absolutely incredible. Shout out to Manu Bennett, I think is his name. Who plays Deathstroke. I'm not 100% sure if that's the name. I'll look it up later. But whoever played Deathstroke, incredible villain. Stephen Amell was the perfect cast for Green Arrow. So yeah, season 2 of Arrow, my pick for number 3.
Okay, yeah. I wish I could. I'm almost positive I remember certain scenes from it, but I'm going to pretend I don't. Season 3 for me. My pick 3 is maybe going into your top 2.
Oh.
But I think it's... So my top 3 is probably Scrubs. And going back onto that whole thing,
I did love Scrubs.
Yeah, so Futurama, it had a very smart humor while being funny at times and all that stuff. Scrubs was along the same lines.
It was kind of like emotional humor.
From what I read, it's the most accurate medical drama out of everything. You don't have these house type situations where, you know, someone's coming in with scurvy or a weird blood clot they can't find.
Yeah.
It's very accurate. I think you're right. It's like, it's emotional humor, but like, man, it gets you in certain episodes. And it is actually the first show / series I watched all the way through. It was like right when Netflix Digital came out, and it was the summer right after I graduated high school. And I was like, I got nothing better to do. And I started Scrubs, and like, that was it. I just watched 9, maybe 8 seasons of Scrubs, and yeah.
I don't think I even finished the seasons, but like there was a period in my life where I had the DVD sets, and I would watch them and then like leave them on autoplay and like wake up to like the menu with the same song. You know. But yeah, that was a great show. It really was.
And I'm sure there's some nostalgic factor tied to it with me, like graduating and it being the first show I completely watched. But yeah, I still find it really good.
Oh,
I number 3. Is that what you just said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was number 3. I love Scrubs back in the day. To be honest, I don't know if I've ever watched Scrubs all the way through. I just remember it was always on Comedy Central. I would watch it in passing. You know, it was kind of my background noise in high school. So I should definitely probably give it its justice and give it a true watch because it is. I know it's great. I know Scrubs is great. I've just never given it a watch. Alex, you ready for number 2?
Number 2. All right, so we're gonna take it back 2 years, Chris. I'm gonna say Family Guy is my number 2.
Did you already say Family Guy?
You're the one that said Family Guy was your 5.
Are you? Oh, god damn it, Alex.
Damn it. So, wait a second. So,
Do you need us to come back to you?
yeah, come back to it. Let me think for a second. So, my number
I swear you
5
said Scrubs was on your top 5, so I think
No,
Scrubs
it
is your
wasn't.
top.
It wasn't. It's
Oh.
not. It's not. I do love Scrubs.
Number 5 was Family Guy.
Yeah.
Number 4 was.
Oh, I'm sorry. Friends is my number 2.
Gotcha.
It wasn't. I came back to this.
Come
one.
back to me,
Not
not
yours.
yours. It's like somebody had to have said something or something.
All right, so Friends.
It's the
I
tequila
love
talking.
Friends. It is the tequila talking, and it's yes, it is the tequila talking. All right, so Friends is my number 2. It's been my number 1 for a very long time. My new number 1 came in relatively recently, but Friends is such a great show. Watched every single episode, and it's been what? How many seasons are there? There's at least 10,
10.
right? There's
There
10.
are 10, yeah,
There are
there's
10.
Number
Joey.
2, Friends is my second
Joey.
seasons there are.
See, that just goes to show.
Joey was a great character.
Joey's my favorite.
I love Joey. Joey was
Have you
my
seen
favorite.
episodes?
I would.
I'm not
I
gonna
love
do it.
episodes. I was.
But I'm saying as a fan of Friends, he should watch it.
Well, I
What's
was.
episodes? Is that a?
Never mind, we'll talk
Well,
about it.
so we'll get into it in just a sec. But I was going to say, Joey was the only person to get a spinoff. Joey, as a spinoff, was incredibly unsuccessful.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even. Joey makes no reference of Friends whatsoever, which is what I think was its ultimate downfall. The only Friends reference was, "Oh, I'm Joey and I'm an actor."
Yeah.
That's it. It's just the same character. It's not like, oh, I've got these friends in New York. Like, they make no reference. But then in episodes, which is an incredible Netflix show.
What the fuck is the episodes? Never even
We're
heard
about to
of
get
this.
I
into
think
it.
it's like Showtime or something. Anyway.
Well, it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix now.
It's on Netflix. But it is a show about these 2 British comedy writers that come to America to recreate their show. Much like how The Office has gone from BBC to America. And so, in their British show, it was like this professor at this esteemed British university that influenced these kids.
Like Snape, Professor Snape.
No, more like Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Again, me and Luke
like
right
a
on the same.
long-haired professor.
Yes,
long,
and
long-haired.
Yeah, his
Goodwill
wife
Hunting.
farts in her sleep. Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
And that was the British show. And then these 2 British writers come to America to oversee the American version, and it becomes a high school wrestling coach played by Joey.
Yeah. No, not wrestling.
Matt
I think it was
LeBlanc.
hockey.
Hockey?
Yeah.
Okay, he's a hockey coach played by
Cool.
Matt LeBlanc, and the British writers are pissed off because they have fucking Joey from Friends trying to be,
and they've completely changed what
and
the
they've
original
completely
concept of
changed
the
what
movie
they've
was.
done, and so the show.
What do you mean they're angry? Is this part of the plot of
This
the
is
show?
part of the plot of the show.
Imagine if the British version of Friends looked like The Office. You'd be like, this isn't the British. This isn't Friends. It's completely different. That's
yeah.
basically what happened.
Oh.
So
Okay.
like the Americans fucked up this British version of things, and Matt
But
LeBlanc.
in the show, is it like these British guys being like, this is the guy from Friends?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is?
Matt LeBlanc plays Matt LeBlanc. He's playing himself.
He's playing himself in.
That sounds. I want to watch.
but
that.
everybody else is a
It's
fictitious
it's
character.
really
Right.
good.
Yeah.
I've only watched the first couple of seasons. I have no idea how many seasons
I
there
think it's
are.
only 3.
I know I haven't finished it, but it's really good.
What'd you say it's called again?
Episodes.
It's better than the Joey spinoff.
It is better than the Joey spinoff.
Which is hilarious,
Which,
but-
which is why I was trying to bring up the Joey spinoff, because this is what the Joey spinoff should have been from the get-go.
I saw a really interesting video, not to keep talking about Friends, but I saw a really interesting video about how one of the main reasons Joey failed was it was the least interesting character to follow. Because it's like, well, are we going to follow both Chandler and Monica now and just like watch them have kids? Well, there's no like, we know how they are as a dynamic. There's no, but like Joey was single. He was he was the only single one in the group. He was an actor, so he could have been like moved to LA, and he just had the biggest potential for a spinoff. But yeah, not the same.
Episodes is what Joey wished.
Friends is just so good that it's tough to.
Which
I get it. If I was one of the 6 friends, I would probably want to continue it somehow.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, gotta keep cashing that paycheck. You know.
Yeah.
So are we on 2?
We're on 2, Chris.
All right, my number 2, Parks and Rec.
Great TV show.
Fucking Parks and Rec is better than The Office in every sense of the fucking word. I will die on that motherfucking hill. The Office is a good show. It's a great show. It's probably one of the best shows in the past 10 years, 20 years. Parks and Rec is just better in every aspect. Character development. Characters in general. The relationship between Leslie and Ben is a better relationship between Jim and Pam.
Wait, Leslie and Ben is... Okay, yeah.
Adam Scott and Amy Poehler. Mm-hmm. Even the relationship between Chris and Ann, as dysfunctional as it is a better relationship than Jim and Pam.
But the best relationship on that show is between... What's his name and what's her name?
You are the most descriptive person.
Chris Pratt and...
Chris Pratt and April Ludgate.
Yeah.
See, I said the actress.
Why did I just say one actor's
That's why he was looking at me like,
I was like,
actors'
you know
names?
what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Those guys kill it.
Yes. Absolute Parks and Rec, 100%. I will die on that hill. It's a better show than The Office. My personal favorite character is Aziz Ansari's Tom. He's hilarious. He's everything I want to be. I was very materialistic as a kid, and then I've grown up to want one thing. And Alex, that's for Lazy Gringo to succeed.
That's me.
That's
yeah, material. I consider that material.
Well, no, but Tom's whole arc is he's very materialistic in the beginning, and then at the end, all he wants is for his bistro to succeed. He made, he's the entrepreneur. He's everything. I relate to that character the most, as asshole-ish as he may be. Parks and Rec, better than The Office. My number 2.
Yeah, I've seen several episodes of Parks and Rec. I've never seen several episodes of The Office, so I'll concur with it.
You've never watched The Office?
No, I have, and there are scenes that I think are funny, but like when I try to sit down and watch a whole episode, I don't get into it. And it's different people's humor. Yeah. I'm not saying it's better or worse. It's just like the same people that have the same love of The Office have the same passion as the same Friends fans. So
well, the detriment to The Office, in my opinion, is The Office ends when Michael Scott leaves, which is in season 7, I believe.
You almost don't even notice it though. I actually watched it all the way through.
You don't notice it.
It's like he left, but like, okay, yeah.
Bullshit, you don't notice it. They have
that he's there at the end. And
they had Will Ferrell come in as a substitute boss for a while, and then fucking Andy comes in and becomes the boss.
Dwight takes... And at that point,
it's a very different show.
It's about Dwight and
they were setting up a Dwight spinoff that never got approved because no one wanted a Dwight spinoff.
It was going to be about Dwight's beet farm.
It was. You know this?
I watched.
I don't know
all
this
the way through.
Yeah, but you're not.
Oh, I mean, I'm just guessing.
You were just. That's 100% what it was going to be. Oh. The planned Dwight spinoff was going to be about Dwight and the beet farm.
Facetious, to be totally honest.
No, you were right. No, it never got approved. So it would have appealed to the Alex audience who doesn't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah. I would have watched that. We're like, shit, The Office is still going on? That's what.
But it's set at a beet farm now? Okay.
Yeah. Dwight's beet farm. This is the logical next step in The Office series.
Become the ranch.
Yeah.
Oh, God. No one wants the ranch.
All right, Luke, what's your number 2, man?
So my number 2 is Breaking Bad. Nice. And I just got a big roll eyes from Chris.
No, for those watching the YouTube, I just gave the biggest fucking roll eyes ever.
I bet it's fucking amazing.
So again, going back to the whole Scrubs thing, it was the first drama, or probably first show in general, I ever remember waiting for. Where like I was watching an episode and it stopped. And I literally had to wait for the next week because I was old enough to watch it. And then I remember watching the finale with a bunch of my friends, all that stuff. And the spinoff might be better than it. And I know a lot of people actually think that, but there's a spinoff of a character, and it's equally as good.
Yeah,
and honestly, that in itself is
right?
rare.
That's it, right?
Yeah, super rare. So the fact that like these two shows go hand in hand, and they made a standalone movie, which was great. Like, it's a franchise in itself, but it knows when to stop. It doesn't tell a story unless there's meant to be a story.
That's cool. I really should watch that show.
I guess I respect the writer and director more than the show, because if I include Better Call Saul in that, it's just the way they tell stories. But it's Do you want to talk about why you rolled your eyes?
Yeah, Chris, why do you hate?
I just couldn't get past season 1.
what's it called?
Did you watch the whole season?
Yes, I watched the whole
that's
season.
all that matters.
It had all the setup of it. Crystal meth. I love crystal meth.
Down.
Down. Bryan Cranston, incredible actor. Aaron Paul, incredible actor. Has everything I would love in a TV show. I just couldn't get into it. That's fucking
That's
Danny
fine.
Trejo. I just don't know why. I just couldn't click with it. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try again. You know. I was never able to connect
See,
with
I'm
the
the same.
Breaking
So,
Bad community.
do you like Mad Men?
Yes, I love Mad Men.
Couldn't get into it.
Fair enough.
So that's what I'm saying. And back on the whole Friends part, like everybody's divided on these like similar shows. AMC had Mad Men and Breaking Bad out at the same time. You were either
And Walking
watching
Dead.
Breaking Bad, yes.
And I'm
but
not
you were
a
either
Walking Dead
watching
fan.
Breaking Bad or Mad Men. I tried to get into Mad Men, I couldn't, and I think but that's good. A studio doesn't want to appeal to one type
Yeah, they
of
want
audience.
to appeal to a big
So-
audience. Absolutely. So it just shows that AMC is doing their thing. Alex.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking
So
the same
Family Guy.
thing. No.
So Alex's number one is
Number
Family
one
Guy for the
is,
third time.
Family Guy. The Cleveland Jets.
R.I.P. Mike Henry's
not
career.
too far fetched.
He'll still be on it. It's
I
not
think my number one favorite show, as I don't know if it's douchebaggy or whatever, but I love Rick and Morty.
Love Rick and
That's
Morty.
my
That's an
number
honorable
one.
mention of mine.
Yeah.
That's my number one. It's relatively new, and I know like favorite TV shows. Like for me, there's all sorts of nostalgia with Friends, Family Guy, and Whose Line Is It Anyway? But with
Rick and Morty is very smart.
it's just like they just have so much fun with like super complex ideas, and it's just a lot of fun to like. It's like a game. It's just like okay, I see it. I see what's going on. Ooh, this is fun. Oh wow, this is super engaging.
Well, and Dan Harmon is a genius, creator of Community, creator of Rick and Morty. He is a genius of you have to watch the episode 2 or 3 times, because you not only have to pay attention to the plot of the main characters, but you have to watch everything that's going on in the background, because it's going to come into play into a later episode. Whether it be
It was like that in
another
Community. The pregnant girl.
exactly.
Whatever, yeah.
The pregnant girl, the third time that Beetlejuice was mentioned on Community. Ever. Just the third time they said Beetlejuice. Guess who walks through the fucking background?
It was a Halloween episode, right?
It's the Halloween episode.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Like, I mean, just Dan Harmon is just smart with his writing, and he pays attention to every last detail. Rick,
We might not have to.
we have to delete them.
Well, we got what, like
I've
5?
transferred.
No, we're good. I'm sorry. I thought
We got like
might
10
have
minutes
to.
left.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes left. I thought that it was stopping because we filled up the thing, but we haven't.
No, we just killed the battery.
We just killed the battery. I mean, I tried to record a second ago and I said beep 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 and stopped, but now it's working.
Okay.
So anyway,
All right.
and
Are we recording?
Yep.
Okay. It's gonna count us in. So
3, 2, 1, and start. Okay, and we're back.
you literally could have just said, "Hey, Chris, I have to edit this all out now." You fucking asshole.
That's so funny though. It'll take 2 seconds to edit.
Ask Chris who his number
Just
one is.
pull the thing to the side. You know what I mean? Anyway.
I'm probably not gonna edit it out. The camera died. We had to like set up a new battery. Blah blah blah. Alex, would you like to set us up?
Yeah. So Chris was saying how solid of the first choice I had chose. Chris.
Rick and Morty's great. I had nothing more to say on it. For my personal number one, you and I talked about it a little bit off air. I think Alex kind of knows what's coming. And to quote Michael Scott from The Office, Entourage.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love Entourage. It is my all-time favorite TV show. It is the ultimate male fantasy show. Whether it be the beautiful women, the fucking gorgeous cars, to the fucking just bros being motherfucking bros. Entourage is as much about wish fulfillment of I wish I could be a movie star. I wish I could drive, a fucking yellow Hummer through downtown LA and have a spot reserved for me at the nicest fucking restaurant. I wish I could have all of these things. It is as much wish fulfillment as it is family. Because the Entourage at the end of the day is about family. It is about Vince, Eric, Johnny, and Turtle being there for each other and being supportive and just dudes. We have women supporting women all the time, and Entourage was guys give each other shit. Guys will tear your shit up and make fun of you for no motherfucking reason. But that is guys' way of pushing you up and pulling you forward, as weird as that fucking is.
Yeah.
And so
honestly, that's totally true.
And so Entourage is as much about wish fulfillment as it is family, and that's why it's a great show. It's the perfect show. HBO fucked them in the last season. They got a movie out of it, and I hope that shitty movie gets a sequel, because that movie to an Entourage fan was great. To a non-Entourage fan, you were like, what the fuck did I just watch? So honestly, I hope with all the streaming services out there that someone is like, hey, Doug Ellen, go get them back.
Yeah. So does it not work as a standalone movie? Like if I watched it, not even watching a single Entourage, would I get anything?
I haven't watched any Entourage either. So.
I'm not going to.
Entourage,
the
Entourage movie is like a long episode of Entourage. And if you've never watched Entourage before,
it's long, yeah.
You don't quite know what's going on. You're like, are these guys actually in Hollywood, or is this fake? Because it's set in real Hollywood, but these are fictional characters.
Right.
So if you're not already
familiar with the
on that wavelength, it's gonna throw you off.
Because it's almost like a branched timeline.
Exactly.
Because there's real characters, they're just.
Mark Wahlberg makes appearances as Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey is there as Ronda Rousey. Tom Brady is fucking Tom Brady. Yeah. But then
Matt
Matt LeBlanc. No, so actually their big character is David Schwimmer. And David Schwimmer is fucking hilarious. As David Schwimmer. And he's like kind of a creep.
Is he still funny?
He's very funny. But David Schwimmer has very adult humor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, where has he been? What does he do
I feel
now?
like he's like Bob Saget.
Fuck, it's not David Schwimmer. It is Bob Saget. Fuck! It's Bob Saget.
David Schwimmer is...
I was thinking of Friends.
Ross.
No, I was thinking of Friends. It's Bob Saget. It's Bob Saget.
Okay.
And Bob Saget, who has very, very adult humor.
You know who Bob Saget reminds me of? Bill Nye the Science Guy. He was.
I thought he was gonna be like David Schwimmer.
That's totally what I thought he was going.
You know how Bill Nye the Science Guy was like cool when he was Bill Nye the Science Guy, but he's kind of like come back and he's like cool in his own new way. I feel like Bob Saget is like.
Dude, Bob Saget on
like
Entourage is like.
He's great.
He is hilarious. He is so different from the Full House, like good old dad. This Bob Saget fucks with prostitutes and gets mad when someone else is fucking with his prostitute. Like
that's an exaggerated version of that person in real life.
But it's an exaggerated version of Bob Saget in real life. That is.
So wait, Bob Saget fucks with prostitutes?
No, but in the Entourage universe, Bob Saget lives right next door to a whorehouse, and he has his select group of women that he likes. It's a very interesting show. It ages well in some aspects. It doesn't age well in other aspects. Like Ari Gold, played by Jeremy Piven, won Emmys for the character. in 2020 would be fired in less than 3 minutes for the shit he says in Entourage. But it works for the show, and like he has a gay secretary who's a gay Asian secretary who openly mocked for his race, and he openly mocks for being gay. Both things that would not fly in 2020.
Well, it depends though.
But when you watch it in Entourage, you know that Jeremy Piven's character is a good person at the end of the day. He might say outrageous things.
Mocks is one thing, but if it's like funny because it's exaggerated and obviously fucked up, then like...
And that's what it is. It's obviously fucked up. But like, it's so tough to explain, especially to people who haven't seen it. But the relationship between Rex Lee and Jeremy Piven is so awesome that in 2020, you have fans asking for a spinoff of those two characters.
Just those two.
Just those two. And it is a dude berating another man for being an openly gay Asian man. And you have 2020 people asking for that spinoff. So it ages well because you know those characters genuinely care for each other at the end of the day, despite all the words that are said.
I don't know.
I should probably try to watch it.
Here's the thing. Fucking watch Entourage.
Here's the thing. I just spent like all my shows have basically ended in the last 2 years, and I'm not about to get anything else.
It's on
streaming.
It's on HBO Max. Watch Entourage, and then go watch the Entourage movie, and come back and tell me how fucking awesome of a show
So
it is.
is it like watch seasons 1 through 4, then watch the movie, then 5 through 6?
No.
So it's not Futurama. Okay.
No, it's not Futurama. So like as I was telling you at dinner,
It ended with a...
It ends so quick that you can tell HBO surprised the cancellation on them, and then when they got the movie, they try and tie up some loose plot points, but it doesn't quite tie up everything. Anyways, here's the official start to the Entourage spinoff starring Jeremy Piven and Rex Lee with a new, maybe female Entourage.
Ocean's 9?
Ocean's 8? Ocean's 8, 5?
You know they started 8, so they were going to do 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Trying to get their own trilogy to lead up to 11.
Fuck, I had never thought about that.
They never had 9. They probably will in the future, though.
So you know Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13?
Yes.
So they had a female spinoff called Ocean's 8, and I had never thought about that, but you are so fucking right.
8, 9, 10 as a trilogy and lead into,
But
Ocean's 8 wasn't that bad.
I heard it wasn't bad. I heard Rihanna was actually really good in it, but I have not.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't...
Halle Berry and Catwoman.
It wasn't an Ocean's movie, because even a bad... Like, Ocean's 12 was bad, but it's still a good movie. It wasn't...
A fun movie.
It was a fun movie, but it wasn't, like, to that quality.
Right.
Anyways, Luke.
That's fine.
You're number 1.
So... Just to reiterate, the fact that I didn't have time to think about this.
He had 2 hours.
I don't know if I could even... I'd probably change if I actually started doing research, but like, I keep saying like, oh, this is number 5, 4, 3, 2. They're definitely in my top 5, but in no particular order, because the more I think about what I'm about to say as my number 1, I love it, but it's because I love it right now. And one thing I tried to do with my list was to choose shows that were done. I didn't want to put Rick and Morty in my top 5. Love that show. It's got 4 seasons. What if the next 4 suck? You know? I didn't want to put something that, you know, I'd only seen half of was in there. But my number 1, because I know it's going to end in probably 1 or 2 seasons, but I've genuinely enjoyed everything, is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And it's a solid show, and
Great show.
I wasn't watching Friends when Friends was airing. I never watched How I Met Your Mother or Office or all this stuff while it was airing, even though they're great shows. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I started watching when the pilot came out, and I have watched up until this point. It has hilarious characters. It has characters that have they are so relevant in our day and age, and they make them work, and I've definitely gained new perspective from certain things of that show. But Andy Samberg, I don't know why, he's the only person that can literally make me laugh out loud. You know, you do the snort thing when you're watching TV. I will audibly laugh out loud when I'm watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Did you ever watch his YouTube?
No.
Stuff? You know what I'm talking about?
No. Like his SNL stuff on YouTube?
No, it was even before that. The Lonely Island, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I've seen some of their
that
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Him and his buddies.
And he just had a new, like, his HBO mockumentaries are hilarious. He just had one for Netflix about baseball. Oh my god, I don't know why.
Andy Samberg's great.
He's hilarious.
hilarious.
So that's my number one.
Nice.
Not to talk about it has
I
nothing to
feel
do
like
with
that's a pretty
It's the
cool,
characters,
good,
yeah.
diverse. Like nobody could have really guessed either of those.
I feel like
any of
mine was
those
pretty
three.
predictable, but
Yeah, maybe. I just didn't even think about it, but now that after you say it,
Well, it's just interesting that Family Guy ended up twice on the list, even though
there's nobody's.
well, technically it ended up 3
Twice.
times. This is on my list.
That's
it was
right,
on
that's
Alex's
right.
list. Is
Yeah,
twice.
it was my fifth
Yeah.
favorite and my second favorite.
Family Guy came in 3 times on 2 lists.
Anyways, I think that does it for episode 3 of the Lazy Gringo podcast.
Yep.
Emma's starting to like seek attention, which probably means she needs to go out. Luke, thank you so much for joining.
Of course,
I know
appreciate it.
I know I springed this on you. Alex, you live here. I'm not going to thank you for joining.
Better not.
Anyways, we'll talk to y'all next week. Stay lazy.
Stay lazy.
I love sharing this bed with you. Waking up in the afternoon. Nothing we gotta do. Another little summer honeymoon. We can go grab some food. Kick it out back by the pool. Stay here and get comfortable. Another little summer honeymoon. Fall back in the sheets. Making contact, sign a contract. I know you work hard, make a call back. Just want you to relax. Like why not? I can leave it in that right spot. All I got me picking up plant pots, taking flu shots, sucking up about the groceries that you want. And every time I lay in this bed, you're on my mind like a head.